Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Thursday stream. We're going to be doing this every week. We're going to be sharing what's going on with HYPERTEK. We're going to be bringing you various projects as they come to us and talk about it. We have an exciting project tonight called Hood from the GameStop days and Wall Street Bet. So excited to talk to them. We have 34 people in the room right now. If all of you 34 could do me a wonderful favor and retweet the space so we can build up some of this crowd. As I can see, it's going right now. Dato, let's fucking go. I 100% agree. Same with Drop Car here. Let's go. What's up, fellas? We have an exciting show. We got a lot of news to talk to you about tonight. I would like to thank you, Frank. Thanks for reposting the stream. Let's get this word out there. Last week, we grew over 2,400 viewers. We're just shy of 50 right now. It always takes a little bit of time in the beginning. But you know what? It's going to be a great show. There's lots to talk about. We're going to go over the Hood project, like I just mentioned. I'm going to be marking up some Soul has been requested and what's going on with Soul. And we are going to talk about some of the exciting news that happened this week. So for the 60 people that are here now, once again, thanks for joining and thanks for retweeting the space. Absolutely love it. And you know what? It's been a great week. There was a lot of exciting things that happened. One of the things that happened, just in case you missed it, this to me is one of the biggest news that happened, is Metablock blew the show away this week when he was on the Time.Fun auction. If you haven't heard about the Time.Fun auction, well, the Hyper team won first place with a $50,000 bid to be on the pitch deck for Soul Ansem, and that maybe I can get Metablock to tell you about that himself. Thank you for being here, Meta. Tell us a little bit about that.
Hey, Pop, thank you. First of all, can you hear me well? I have some connection issue.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, sorry for being late, a little late, guys.
Right.
We were fighting some technical issues. We're just shy of 100 people tuning in. If you've just tuned in, please retweet the space. Let's get this lineup. As people are saying, it is an absolute stacked lineup today. It really is. Tons of news to go over, and you're going to get some great TA from me today and hear about what's going on in Soul. Sorry to interrupt you there, Metablock. Tell us what happened. What's going on?
Yeah, thank you. So basically, what happened? We saw on Twitter that there was an auction running on the Time.Fun platform. So I went to that platform and I not fell love for it, but I said, okay, it's actually quite a great idea, right? What they do is basically they tokenize people, and then actually you need to buy the token of each people to be able to access them. And they were running an auction to be able to pitch your project in front, basically, of the biggest player of the Solana ecosystem. So Tolly, Mert, Ansem, Kiao. So I said, okay, why not? I mean, we try to bring actually people into the project to get exposure, and there is nothing better than actually going straight to the biggest players. So we need feedback. We need to put our project in front of them. And you know, when you run a project, it's quite difficult, in particular CTO, right? A lot of people are coming to you to try to extract supply from you, money from you, etc. And most of the deal I've done, I filed for a lot of deal. And at the end of the day, we don't get value out of it. So people ask for like stable, for percentage of the supply, etc. And at the end of the day, when the price go up, they are excited. When the price go down, they go silent and they sell your token. So I said, okay, we need to pay the price. It's expensive, but I believe actually this is where we're going to get the most value from. It's basically pitching, getting feedback, hopefully good feedback, and support actually from Solana Foundation, from Tolly, from Ansem, etc. because I really believe on the project. So yeah, it has been quite fun. We're top bidder and people were telling me, you are crazy, right? You could have been top bidder for 40K, for 45K, and you top bid
you were
actually
top
at 50%.
you were top bidder at 30 and you didn't have any competition. And then you were top bidder at 40 and literally you could have stayed there and you went all the way to 50 because the host wanted to make it an even $100,000 raised. And you made that happen, which is awesome. But like you said, that's a drop in the bucket for the value. So who is the pitch to again?
So it's gonna be into Tolly, so Solana founder. It's gonna be as well to Ansem, which is one of, I would say, the biggest influencer on Solana, but as well on the full crypto ecosystem. It's going to be in front of Mert and Xiao. I think Adrian will be able to give more detail on those technical people. So it's going to be as well a technical pitch. And why actually I top bid is maybe to show actually to those what I call fake KOLs that they come to me and I fall for it to give them actually sometime more than that. And actually I had to buy it back from them and to say, okay, when there is something which add value, I can pay the price because I believe on that pitch. It's going to be 10-minute pitch for $50,000, but I think I'm going to get much more value than having people saying, oh, I'm going to be here for the long term, and 1 week after they are gone. So yes, I paid the price. I paid more than the price, but because those people and the way in that platform, I think deserve much more than what I've given up to bad people, I would say.
So we have a question from Zeke. When is the pitch? We have a question from Drop Car here. When is the pitch? There was 3 winners, guys. I can't remember the other 2 off the top of my head right now, but they're coordinating the schedules between all 3 projects. We don't have the exact date for when that's going to happen. We imagine it's going to happen in a couple of weeks, but I'm going to be honest with you, the little bit longer it takes, the more prepared each team can get. So that's not a bad thing at all. So once again, if you're just tuning in now, we're at just over 160 people joining the space. Give us a retweet so we can get more people in, share their news on what's going on with HYPERTEK, because we do have some great news today. We have some fabulous guests as well. Hood from the GameStop and Flipping It, and they're going to talk about some of that. And then we've got if our bandwidth with MetaBlock will allow, we'll give a live demonstration of how some of this technology works and just get it all out to you. So, hey, 170 people. That's great, guys. Thanks for helping out. If you do have any questions throughout, feel free to respond. And however that you are watching this stream, they will come straight to me and we will address those questions. Adrian, do you want to talk on this a minute of what this whole means to you, the Time Fun auction?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as Matt has just said, this is the highest ROI opportunity that we've had at Hyper. We've spent significantly more than 50K on other attempts to try and get distribution, but we've just managed to skip it all, go right to the top. So we're going to get to pitch Tolly, the founder of Solana, Ansem, the biggest influence on Solana. The other 2 are Chow and Mert. Mert is the founder and CEO of Helios, which is a big infrastructure company on Solana that runs like a lot of trading infrastructure and all sorts of other RPC stuff for developers to build on. And then Chow is involved in Alliance DAO, and they're kind of an accelerator for crypto, and they're focused very much on trying to grow projects. So these are the guys that have the biggest amount of knowledge about the space in general, but they also have an immense amount of network, and people really listen to them, and they know what they're talking about. And so we're going in there, obviously trying to impress them, show them that we've got a real team, real tech, and a real vision. But we're also going to get feedback from them, which is really the price of the ticket here. We're getting feedback from the guys that have seen it all. They see hundreds of pitches a week. They really know the space. They know what's happening. They know who's building what. We don't necessarily have that kind of access yet. And they're going to be able to give us the feedback that we need to really craft the products that we're building, craft the story that we're telling, and the vision that we have. At the end of the day, we're here to grow the project to be as big as it possibly can and bring as much value to the Solana ecosystem as we can. And who better to tell us how to do that than these 4 dudes? It's an unbelievable opportunity. And if we manage to impress them, then that's a bonus, right? Because then they might help us, they might connect us with people, and if we want to find somebody who can really connect us to other projects in the ecosystem that we can help, we can give them tools and infrastructure and games and whatever else. Who better to do that than the founder of Solana? So the opportunity for us is absolutely unbelievable, and we're very, very hard at work trying to craft a pitch that is hopefully going to impress them, and we take it from there. And I think this is really the next step for Hyper, if I'm honest.
I mean, that is huge. When you're saying the founder of Soul and someone probably the biggest influencers and the others, I mean, you don't get better exposure than that. And I mean, it just goes to show, one, the team's tenacity, Metablock's forethought of just making sure we're in first place, you know, getting the name out there. This pitch is going to be huge, people. Like, I've never seen anything like this happen in all my years in this space. And I'm excited. I'm so excited to see how this is going to roll out. And you speak a lot, Adrian, of analogies, and I love it. So for those that are new or might be listening, we've got just over 230 people now in the space. Thank you for joining. We're talking about HYPERTEK, Hyper on Soul. What is that? Maybe give us a quick elevator pitch for people that are tuning in and might not know. What is HYPERTEK all about?
So at its core, what we're trying to do is produce revenue, not just for ourselves. Like obviously every company says we're trying to make money. That is the definition of a company. But we're trying to do more than that. We're trying to make revenue for other projects. And we do that by building tools that they can use to move quickly. And the kind of analogy that I've been using with people is that there's core infrastructure like the iPhone. Apple ship a very impressive piece of technology in the iPhone, but the real value of the iPhone wasn't in the electronics inside the phone. It was in the fact that they built an ecosystem for other builders to ship apps and get distribution. So you could come along before iPhones and you could build a really cool application, and somebody had to go to your website and download it. Maybe there was viruses and there was all sorts of issues there. But the iPhone came along and gave a much better form factor, a much better user experience, and then gave the developers the tools they needed to build, and then the App Store to distribute. So you could now build a game or an app or whatever you wanted using the tools that Apple give you, and you can ship it onto the devices that Apple have built, and then they give you the App Store, which distributes it for you. So now you can get thousands or potentially even millions of eyeballs on your app in a way that you never had access to before. And in this analogy, Solana is the iPhone, right? Solana came along and gave this unbelievable boost in user experience over something like Ethereum, and it's way faster, it's way cheaper. And what we're going to try and do is build the tools just like Apple did on top of that, and then give the distribution network as well. So the builders can now enter Solana and be able to build really quickly, because there's a lot of builders who maybe are good at building apps, but they're not necessarily that knowledgeable about crypto. They don't know how blockchains work. They don't know how to build on a blockchain. And Solana at the deepest levels is fairly technical. So there's a lot of barriers to get over to start building on Solana. So quite often people just will not do that because it's difficult. So we're going to try and build a layer on top that allows everyone to build easily and as quickly as they can, so that we can start getting way more apps and user experiences into Solana. And that's what's going to bring the next wave of users. Because right now, a lot of the users on Solana, if we're being honest, is driven around speculation. And like we have no problem with that. We're degens at heart anyway. So we love that. But that's not how Solana grows to the masses. The masses don't necessarily want to be in the trenches degenning. They want to play fun games. They want cool apps. They want things to do that are useful. And those apps produce revenue. And that's where we start to see this sustainability come into the ecosystem. And that's really our vision here. We're trying to build that iPhone platform on top of Solana to allow all of the developers to start shipping things and producing revenue on Solana. And then we're building apps as well and tools and games we can give to other projects immediately. That breaks down in the analogy a little bit because Apple didn't really do that, but that's our vision here.
From Crypto Joss, Adrian, what a smart man. Oh, Adrian, the understatement of the day. I mean, Adrian is our CTO and a lot of the brains behind this. And this isn't just theory that's going on with HYPERTEK. This is actually right now here today being used by communities that is actually producing revenue. Maybe Macy or Adrian, you can speak to how many communities right now are actually using our tech.
I haven't checked recently, but I think last time I checked, it was over 30 that are using our tools are right now, the game that we've got, and with the AI meme generators and stuff, it's well over 30 projects that are using it in the few months that those have been live. And I think we've made ballpark $200,000 in revenue between us and our partners. So it's working. It is live. It's not, as you say, it's not theory. This is usable today. Our vision is much bigger, and we're going to build a lot more. But we've started out hot, and we continue to accelerate, and that's really our goal here.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. We're just shy of 350 people at the moment. We're going to be talking a little bit about HYPERTEK. You've heard Adrian talk. You've heard Metablock talk about all the exciting news from getting in front of the founders of Sol, getting in front of Ansem with our pitch upcoming. And if you're new to this and you're like, what is this tech? There's a few things. First off, there's some AI stuff that can work with communities to be a generator. That's more just the fun stuff, and like it's cool to make AI art and stuff like that. But the real tech right now that stands out that has never been done before is something called coin flip. And this can be integrated into any Telegram community. It can be using any token. Am I correct when I say that, Adrian? Any token?
Yep. Any token on Solana is usable from day one.
And the crazy thing about this tech is it's 100% on chain. And the first one is called coin flip. And it's just very simple, fun game, heads or tails. You can play the house. You can play player versus player. If you missed our stream last week, we had $100,000 flip to demonstrate. Don't think we'll be doing that again today. At least I don't know. But it's pretty crazy. Can you tell us a little bit about that technology?
Yeah, I mean, it's, as you say, it's a coin flip game, which in and of itself is not particularly revolutionary. Coin flip games have existed since time immemorial, really. But what makes what we're doing innovative is kind of twofold. One is the way that we do the randomness, because you need some form of randomness to have that 50-50 chance and make sure that that's fair. And we do that fully on chain. And that's our core innovation. That's never really happened before. There's plenty of randomness services, but they produce randomness off chain and then they put it on chain and use some fancy cryptographic trickery to prove that it's fair. And that tech is great. I'm not like dunking on it at all. It's been around for a while. It works really great. It is provably fair. And it's great that communities are using that. But we're offering something that is completely on chain. There's no off-chain stuff, which just reduces the amount of risk in things going wrong. Like the off-chain stuff might be secure, but there's still some risk there that things can go wrong. Even those servers can go down, right? So there's some things that can go wrong. On ours, it's fully on-chain. So that's kind of the core innovation. And then the second part is you can be the house in what we're building. Like every on-chain casino before, the house is the company that made the casino. And that's their business model. That's how they make money. We have no house edge in our games. We just take a small fee off the top, but the games are actually fair minus that fee. So you get a fair payout, and then out of your payout, we'll take a small fee. So there's no house edge, but we give a little bit of that fee to liquidity pools, and that's kind of like Uniswap, where anybody can put that money in. And if you bet against the house, you're betting against those liquidity pools. So just like in traditional finance, there used to be like central order limit books, like on NASDAQ or something, and all trades were through a centralized authority, and you were trading against another human. Somebody else was on the other side of your trade. And then Uniswap came along and said, well, why can't you trade against a smart contract and have resting liquidity that people put there. And then that's the Web3 way to do it. We've kind of taken that idea and said, what's the Web3 way to do casinos and gambling? And it's provide that liquidity and allow anybody to put it there. And they can start to earn yield. But again, it's any token. So now every community has an instant one-click way to start earning yield on their token. So you could launch like Pope token right now, put it in the liquidity pool, and you can immediately start earning yield on your new token. And anybody in your community can do that when we roll that out. And that's really that's the Web3 way to do it in my mind, and that's what we've done. So those are the two core things. We've got the randomness, which is innovative, and then we're also doing anybody can be the house, and together they come together to make something that is very natively Web3. And as far as
I know you're an ex-poker player just like myself. This fee is kind of like a small rake. It's very minimal. And what I love about the fee is a little bit goes to the HYPERTEK for the technology, and then a little bit goes to the community of whatever is involved with this. And if you have a Telegram community out there and you want this tech involved, all you got to do is contact us. There's no charge from the HYPERTEK community to incorporate this into your community. And the cool thing, I've been watching this now for the last week in Telegram. It's pretty fast. Like there's not a lot of latency to watching this happen. So to have this all be 100% random, the house doesn't always win, and it's 100% on chain, that is a pretty amazing tech. And that's crazy in my opinion. Like I've never seen anything like it, and it's fun watching people do this back and forth, challenging each other, challenging the house, having the scoreboards of who's up top. It's pretty amazing to see. I got to give you props, man. I don't know how you did it. Obviously you're wise in this space when it comes to building on chain. I just want to take this moment. We're just close to 600 people on stream. Thank you for tuning in. We're talking about HYPERTEK, how HYPERTEK can benefit your community. We have some great news that has happened with how we're going to get in front of Time.Fund, the founder of Sol and Ansem, to be able to pitch this technology. But what I'm really excited about with HYPERTEK is what MetaBlock has done. When you have somebody that's a leader that knows how to source good people, there's almost 20 people on this team that volunteer, that have amazing backgrounds in this space. And it's kind of like the aces in places. There's a lot of good people that have different skill sets that all have the same vision for this project. And I'm looking forward to the pitch upcoming to really show what's going on. But that's just one of the ingredients in the cake. We haven't even got to the icing on the cake. Now, another major thing that's coming up is the Sol Hackathon. And Adrian, sorry to keep bringing you up on stage and asking you questions here, but what is the Sol Hackathon all about? What are we looking as a community with HYPERTEK to be doing with that?
So at the end of the day, this is the biggest hackathon in all of crypto. And for those who don't know what a hackathon is really just a competition between projects to build something in a short amount of time. So we get 5 weeks, and you have to start from nothing. You're only judged on the stuff that you actually build in that 5 weeks. And it's really a competition from start to finish, where you need to ship something, you need to build some tech, but it's not just about the tech. It's about the whole picture of what it means to run a project. So it's about marketing. It's about your branding. It's about like the way that you position things, the way that you pitch, the tech that you build, the way you network. Are you able to connect with other projects during the hackathon? There's going to be probably ballpark 1,500 projects competing in this over the 5 weeks. So it's pretty competitive, and the visibility that we're going to get if we do well in this, and obviously we're in it to win it, right? We're really shooting for that number one spot. We want to win this thing, and winning the biggest hackathon in crypto is going to bring so many eyeballs to us. And I'm confident in what we're building. MetaBlock is confident in what we're building. We have 20 people on the team who are volunteering their time effectively to build with us. They're all confident in what we're doing. What we really need is eyeballs. We need more and more people to know about us and know what we're doing. And there's no better way for us to really flex than to compete against 1,500 other projects and win. And if we get to that top, we get some money for doing that, which is great. But we're not really in it for the money, if I'm honest. We're really there to network with other great projects, because there's going to be some phenomenally talented developers there who are going to really understand the space, and we can connect with those people, help them out, and they can help us out. And we're just going to get so many more eyeballs from investors, from the biggest players in the space. Solana Foundation or like fund the hackathon as well. So this is about the highest prize that we could win. And the distribution and the visibility that we're going to get from that is going to be unbelievable. So yeah, we're there to win it. And if we do win it, I think it's going to do great things for us, and we're going to get access to more and more projects, and more eyeballs are going to see what we're doing. And hopefully, just like many people already so far have seen what our vision is and they love it and they want to get involved and kind of go all in on Hyper, we're hoping that we can do the same thing, but on the biggest stage in crypto.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm stoked. And I believe with the strategy this team has, there will be a lot of eyes during the hackathon, because one of the things there's going to be is continuous updates during, what is it, 3 weeks, I believe, the hackathon, or is it 4 weeks?
It's 5, actually. It starts on the 25th, so it starts in a week, and then it runs through to the end of October.
Awesome. So we're going to be having daily updates and bringing you what the team's working with. But part of the hackathon, my understanding, is not just how the tools and the apps that we're building during that time. It's also going to be teaming up with other communities that are involved in the hackathon at the same time, and how they can incorporate our tech, which is pretty amazing. And one of the people that is going to be behind the scenes and helping getting this information out is somebody called Macy. And Macy, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I know you're on stage. What's a little bit of your background when it comes to marketing, and what do you see your skill sets going forward in being able to help with this? Totally on the spot, Macy. I apologize.
I know, I wasn't expecting to come up. But yeah, I'll give you a little rundown of my experience. So I've been in the space, I invested in the space 2017, started learning about Web3 and crypto, and then officially joined the space working in 2020. So I was working with Coin Bureau, which is one of the largest KOLs in the space. I was doing their social media management, content creation, and then also opened a subsidiary with them, which was an events company called Coin Bureau Live. Following that, I then went on to work with BitGet Exchange as a marketing manager for all of their EN regions. And then I went on to BitGet Wallet, also doing marketing for them for EN and EU regions. And then I went up in BitGet Wallet and was essentially a country lead. So I was responsible for all of their growth within the EN and EU regions. And I did a little bit of everything throughout my time in Web3. So mainly marketing, but I touched on social media marketing, general marketing, branding, communications, and live events and online events. So yeah, I've been in the space for just under 5 years, but it feels like a lot longer. And yeah, my experience is all in marketing. So I basically left BitGet Wallet in, I think it was April or May, was supposed to have a summer off, and then someone I used to work with at Coin Bureau actually mentioned Hyper to me. I think he's been invested since Harry took it over, CTO'd it early this year. And I spoke to the team, spoke to Adrian, spoke to some of the other guys as well who are on this stream, listened to what they're building at Hyper, their long-term vision and their mission. And I think at the time, the one thing they were kind of not lacking, but struggling with was having someone full-time just focused on the marketing and the branding. And obviously with my experience, I thought I'd be a good fit. So I came on board and that's that, and been with them since June. And yeah, just helping with the rebrand. So we had like a really big rebrand a couple of months ago. and then just trying to push Hyper out, I guess, to a larger audience and market us in a way that represents what we're building. So like the utility, the tech, the more serious side, because I know when I joined, it was definitely more focused around like just the meme side of things, which we're definitely not. So yeah, just trying to evolve the project through marketing and showing us in a light that we are serious. We're building, we have a strong team, and we're building real utility that will actually help other projects.
Well, you hit the nail on the head there when you said building utility. We're not just a meme. Yes, this was a CTO project, but it was a CTO project of vision and building and giving utility. Like we were mentioning earlier, becoming the app store is our goal for the Solana blockchain. And we've already got demonstration of apps that are working currently right now here today, building and creating revenue for communities. It's just amazing. And just to do a quick recap, because we're just shy of 630 people in the space, thank you for tuning in. Please retweet the space. We've been talking about how we've won the pitch for the founder of Solana, Ansem, and a couple others, a little bit about the technology. We've introduced some of the team. We have over 20 people on this team, and you've just met Macy. And I mean, what a hell of a background that she has to be doing our marketing. If what you're hearing and seeing doesn't make you bullish on this project, I don't know what more to say. I mean, even today we had some great news with DeFi Llama. What is that all about? Does Metablock, Adrian, do you want to comment on what is this with DeFi Llama?
I can jump in here on that. So DeFi Llama are kind of one of the most trusted and respected platforms in all of Web3 for reporting transparency, for revenue, for like yield, for TVL, and all sorts of other things. They have a huge, extensive array of products on their platform, but it's all about putting a central place where people can report their revenue to a third party. And that revenue is then trusted, right? Because we're not just saying we made like $50,000, $100,000 and you have to believe us. Of course, it's all on chain and we're transparent about that, so you can go and check it. But what DeFi Llama do is give a dashboard where they rank every project. You can click into them. You can see where the revenue is coming from, how much have they made today, how much have they made in the last week, the last month, and whatever. And you can sort and filter and do all this stuff. So it's a great research tool, but it's also a great tool for us to just show that this is real. We're not making this stuff up. DeFi Llama are very strict. It's taken like several weeks of back and forth with their team for them to be comfortable that we're not lying about this, that we're not faking any of this, that this is all real. And they are happy enough with what everything that we've given them, and they've merged us into their platform. So you can now go to DeFi Llama and you can click on the revenue tab. You can search for HYPERTEK, and we'll pop up right there. You'll see the amount of money that we're making on our platform. And because we're gambling, some days we lose, right? And that's, I think, also good for the transparency, that we're not just saying that we're printing cash every single day, we're making millions. You can see that we have up days, we have down days, but we are making a lot of money. So we're very real, we're very serious about this, and having that credibility behind us with DeFi Llama is just a very, very good thing for us.
How long has the coin flip been live for?
I think in other groups, a few weeks, and for our group, I think maybe 2 months, but probably not even that long, to be honest, maybe 6 weeks.
And we're already over $200,000 in revenue, people. Like it's only going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And every week we're going to be tuning in at this time slot every Thursday, and we're going to be introducing you to members of our community. We're going to introduce you to other communities. We're going to introduce you to other communities that are using our tech, and just getting the word out there. We have a solid team that are so committed. Like, if you could see how many messages are going through Telegram and our Discord and straight to DMs, I've never met a more passionate crew that have the same goals in mind. This thing is going to blow up, and there's 660 of you now listening. I mean, the number just keeps on growing because this is exciting. You know, this is something different that no other community out there is doing or has done. It's just been mind-boggling to witness, to come back into the spaces and see this. And like I said, if this doesn't make you bullish, I don't know what more you need to make you bullish. So that's the time.fun auction. We've got the Soul Hackathon that we've been talking about. Just doing a quick little recap for all those that just joined the room. We have the DeFi Llama listing. All of this happened this week, and we're not planning on slowing down. So it's just going to keep building and getting crazier and crazier. So at this point of the space, I'd like to welcome up a couple of guests to the space. I've got Bryn, welcome to the stage, and Zeno, welcome to the stage. You are both at the moment muted, but maybe one of you wants to kick off and tell us, what is Hood and what is Hood all about? You're both muted. There we are.
Yeah, hi, man. Yeah, I can jump in initially. Thanks for inviting us. Also want to give a really good shout to the HYPERTEK team. I think what you guys are doing is just amazing. Creating, utility aspects for community coins like the Hood and others, and it's fantastic. And if I was to tell the whole story of our Hood journey, it would take too long. But I'll try to summarize it if that's okay.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Take it away.
So basically, the Hood was launched, I think it was January 30th this year, and very hyped up. Some big KOLs went up to 100 mil market cap, I think twice in 3 days. And then it just kind of faded during the following weeks. After a while, we realized that the devs had probably left. There was silence all over. So there was a group of kind of regular holders that joined together and did a CTO. It was back in late March. It's been a rough ride since then because the coin was pretty much facing some challenges just on keeping our socials alive. Websites were taken down, so we know who were behind it. So it was a rough ride, but we managed to do some good stuff. Kept it alive.
Just interrupt you there quickly. For those that don't know that are listening, Hood is short for Robin Hood, if I may say that, and this goes back to the GameStop days and then the token was created. Sorry to jump in on your, Bryn, but I just wanted to make sure people understood that.
Yeah, sure. I should have mentioned the backstory, which of course was in relation to the GameStop story back in 21. When the wasn't only Robinhood exchange, but there were Robinhood and two others that basically prevented their customers from selling, which was kind of an ugly story, if you ask me. And that was kind of the main narrative behind the coin. And I think there were a lot of small investors that related to that narrative, and it's a strong one. So that's why we have been pursuing this project for so long, and it's still going pretty strong. I mean, still sitting at, I think it's 1.3 million market cap now, and a lot of good things going for it. So, but it's been a tough ride for the ones who have been in the admins group, and some people have fallen off, but the core group is still there and got some plans. So yeah.
So where do we find more information about the Hood project? Because I know you've had some issues with the Twitter pages being shut down. So, do you want to maybe jump in here and tell us a little bit of how we can learn some more online about you? You're on mute.
Yeah, so when it comes to what we still have kind of a website. It's just explaining that, we went underground. We became spokespersons for the Hood, to try to get around the legalities that were involved with us, because, when it comes to money, if you aren't rich or you don't have a lot of money, you kind of don't have any power in the crypto space. Wall Street and the money hungry people can do whatever they want. So you can find us on our link tree, which is linked to our Twitter, our community Twitter. I can post the link in the.
Did I lose you? Are you still there?
Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can now.
Okay, cool. So I will have to get the Twitter link for our community page. It has our link tree, so you can get to our website. You can also get to some of the stuff that we've done for the community. We have a Hood Runner game, which is a nifty little game that we had a giveaway for the top 3 winners. We gave out some soul to people, or some Hood. We also have created a GoFundMe for the Make-A-Wish Foundation to help children, which, was kind of the shitty part about, our socials getting dismantled, is that they dismantled a way for us to, push out our charity, which kind of sucked. But, like Bryn said, the core team is still here. So, we're just kind of having to adjust and maneuver around that.
I'm just going to add, here we are, added it to the stage, the Hood, so you can see online here on your Twitter profile. If you want to learn more about it, you can see right now the contract address is there, but it's x.com iCommunities. You can search the Hood, and pretty exciting. I mean, my days originally were started before I even got into crypto. I was early on into the Wall Street bet days. So fascinating to learn about the project, because to be honest, didn't know it was out there. So thank you guys for coming on and talking about the project.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's been really an honor to be able to, partner with you guys. I'm excited to learn more about the Hood flip that we integrated with you guys, because I'm not quite understanding it, but it's fun. It's fun. It looks fun. I'm ready to lose money.
You gotta look at it the other side of the token, pun intended, right? You definitely got to look at it. Yeah, so just another example of communities that are integrating the HYPERTEK technology that's out there, and great to hear it. I can't wait to hear more of the success stories. Would love to have you guys on in future as well, and we can go over how it's going with the Hood community. So we have just over 720 listeners right now. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you if you retweeted the space. If you haven't, give it a retweet. We are about to go into a little bit more of the project, and I'm been asked if I can mark up Solana and talk about what the heck is going on with Solana. It seems to be on a tear at the moment. Just give me a second here and I'll be able to pull some stuff up. And I'm going to add this to the stage. So what is going on with Solana? That's probably the number one question I've been getting as a trader at the moment. So you can see my screen here. I usually have it broken down from 3-day, 1 day, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 5 minutes. Because remember, when we look at tokens, we want to zoom out approach, and then we want to zoom in to see what's going on with the actual token. So if we just look at price action, and I mean, I haven't marked this up in quite some time, we can see our consolidation box here. We've broken out and retested, and we've come back up, and we look like we want to retest this all-time high right here. Now, I don't count the wicks as all-time highs. I still go off candle bodies on a 3-day, because obviously it did eventually get up to this roughly $295. I mean, right now this chart is screaming bullish. If we add our indicators into this, and if you're not familiar with a lot of the indicators, we have my NFA OFC's micro bear, micro bull. We entered a micro bull situation on Saturday 12th in July, and we've just been on a tear ever since. And our micro bear, micro bull indicator is simply a specific version that I use of the EMA. And we can see here that this EMA is still spread. It's pointed to the upside. This is a very bullish stance for what's happening with the token. Like when we have a red candle like this, that's healthy. That's a healthy retracement to go onwards and upwards. And we are seeing that, we're still heading that direction. That changes when these start to curl the other direction, just like we have this curl right here, over in here, showing us that we're going to the downside. We don't have any evidence of long-term 3-day time frame of going to the downside. These are spread far apart. We know when the EMAs are spread far apart, pointing to the upside, that price action follows that trend. And everything going on right now with the Solana ecosystem is leaning towards that. So on a 3-day time frame, we're well above the 200 EMA. We're still on a nice breakout. I would expect to see, some support and resistance in this area. Like if we just look at this right here, we draw a quick and dirty line right there. We can see this was resistance before, a quick little bit of support, but we can see we had that curl on the EMA cross. We don't have that curl here, right? So this has become support. I would expect to see some resistance at the 261. What I would like to see happen is, a little bit of takeoff, a little bit of pullback, probably down and back to this level in here. What are we looking at? 243-ish. Then to come up, break out of that line, retest it to take off and retest that all-time high on the wick. It is saying that this is a strong high right now. We do have a little bit of sell-off pressure, not much, 1.4 million. So people, that is the sentiment of people saying bullish, all speed ahead to Solana. Obviously, when we had the FOMC this week, it creates a little bit of drawdown, a little bit of pullback in the markets. I mean, if we look at the total market cap on the daily, all the money in crypto, I was talking about this just the other day, I kind of expect to see a sideways action a little bit, or possibly, hopefully, bear with me, we finally break out of this all-time consolidation rectangle, same thing. What we're looking for is a breakout above it, a retest before we can go higher. Most likely we will probably get a little bit of resistance before we get a retest and take off. I'm still quite bullish because we haven't seen retail come into the markets yet. So I'm still thinking we're going to get to that $6-7 trillion market cap for the peak of the bull. You will hear me talk about on my other streams when I'm going to be getting out of the market. I am nowhere near getting out of the market. I'm still stockpiling on red days. Let's have a quick look at Bitcoin on a 3-day. I mean, this is exciting stuff right now. We just got a bullish cross moving towards the upside. Obviously, you know, we have our all-time highs that we will reject against. Sorry if I can make this a little better. You know, I would expect to see, you know, support and resistance, people. This is elementary. You know, we have these areas in here. You know, no doubt that support here, a little bit of resistance. We need to come out. We need to break out of here, come back, retest this value before we can come up, probably retest in this area here, which is the 119, before we can break out, retest this area and go to all-time new highs. So I think with the markets and all, we're still in a very much a bullish trend moving forward. Gold coming down a little bit is a good sign. Remember, when markets are scared, even though we're at an all-time high with gold, we have had some fear with the tariffs and everything going on. When we have scared money always goes to gold. Once we have that fear cool off, we see it move into stocks and into crypto to bring us back and start the runs. It's when the old money, I always say, starts to take a little more risk. Solana's on a tear. It's absolutely looking great. I can't wait to see what this next week brings us. I mean, we're coming up to the weekend. I always stay away from trading on the weekends. There's not enough volume and more manipulation than, you know, average. So just be careful of that while we're looking and going from there. That about covers everything we were looking at discussing. We're just about we're at 769 viewers. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Adrian, do you have any last thoughts?
I mean, it's all hands on deck right now for the hackathon, trying to get everything prepared, make sure we've got a technical plan in place, make sure we've got the marketing in place, make sure we've got our connections in place so that we can start to move. So internally, that's what we're doing. As mentioned earlier today, we're going to do a lot more content around like our process, like what we're thinking about, what we're actually building, giving updates. Some of those will be more technical. They'll probably be on my account on X. For those that are interested in the tech stuff, they can follow me and they can learn more. And then the bigger team updates and progress updates will be on our main Hyper account. So I think the call to action here is for people to go and follow those accounts and keep up to date with what we're doing over the hackathon, because I think there's a lot of exciting stuff coming down the pipeline there. And who knows what's going to happen. It's going to be a crazy 5 weeks for us. And hopefully a lot of really amazing stuff comes out of it. And I would love the community to come on that journey with us and experience what it's like to see the kind of inside track on what one of these like hackathons look like when there's 1,500 teams competing against each other to try and win the top prize and get all the eyeballs in crypto looking at them. So it's going to be an exciting journey for us. And I encourage everybody to join that journey with us and follow along.
Speaking of prizes and giveaways, on our stream last week, we told people you needed to retweet, like, and do a coin flip and give us proof. And we were going to give away 10 $200 prizes for doing that. Believe it or not, with 2,000 people, 10 people didn't even do that. If you go on Hyper, on Sol, on our Twitter, you'll see the winners have been announced, and there didn't need to be a spinning wheel because 10 people didn't do it. This was an easy $200 win for people. Next week, we're going to have some more giveaways, same time, same bad channel. I'd like to thank everybody for coming in. We're going to have more great updates coming. If you missed it today, you can rewatch these on our socials. Get all the news from the Time.Fun auction that we won first place. So we're going to have a wonderful pitch to the founder of Soul Ansem and 2 others. We're now officially on DeFi Llama. We have Telegram groups joining up with our tech every week, and we will bringing those to you so you can learn more about communities and opportunities. My question to you is, if you're not holding bags of Hyper on Soul, why the fuck not? And come in next week. I'll also mark up Hyper. We're just a little bit out of time to do that today, but it's going to be a great week this week, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all next week. So once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.